Greetings, hola. At Cozy Cottage here, Queen V, your host. How is everyone? It's so good to be back, sitting back, chilling. Thought about you guys, so it's time to get on and read a few more chapters of y'all know what? Yes, Little Woman. What was the last one we ended with? What chapter was it? You're right. We're on chapter 24 now, called A Friend. But I'm not going to jump into it right away, but I will in a few seconds. But I hope you enjoyed the few pictures and video of when I went to Canada last weekend. I went to Canada last weekend in Toronto, Canada, because our church family in Toronto had their first Holy Convocation. I went there to support them, and oh my goodness, we had such a good time. Good vibes, talking with our family and the ones I drove up with. Of course, we always have a wonderful time driving up, just talking, listening to music, talking about the goodness of the Lord, and just joking around and just having a good time. And we just had such a good time, and the food was delicious everywhere we went. Canada is a very beautiful country, and they're very clean there. We did notice that. Very clean. So when we rode into Canada, we was going to stop into Niagara Falls soon as we went in on the Canada side. I didn't realize there was two sides to the Niagara Falls until I got there. I just thought it was just Niagara Falls in Canada, which it is, but it's a Canada side and a US side. The Canada side is when you go in, when you go to the Niagara Falls, you'll see the Niagara Falls on the Canada side as you go in. But when you're coming out of Canada going home, you also can go to the Niagara Falls, but it will be on the USA side. It's not in USA, but that's considered Canada. The Niagara Falls, USA, is on that side coming out before you can drive over the border back into the USA. And yes, man, it was so beautiful because we didn't go to the Niagara Falls going in. We were just trying to get to our destination. We went to the Niagara Falls going out to USA, and it was beautiful. But I heard the Canada side is much better. So we're just going to take a trip there, maybe on a weekend. We're going to go. We're actually going to get on the boat where you can get a little closer to the Niagara Falls to get pictures and stuff. I heard you even can go on the part of the fall and you'll get wet, because we saw where they had raincoats on, but it was very interesting because one ship is for the USA and one ship is for the, well, I'm saying ship, but boat is for the USA and one boat is for the Canada. We seen all these red raincoats. All the people that was getting on that boat had all red on, and then there was another boat that had all blue on, blue raincoats on, and found out that the boat with the red raincoats were Canada, and boats that were with the blue raincoats were the USA. So learned a little history, learned something that I didn't know. So it was very nice. Yes, it was very nice. So we're going to go again and maybe get a little closer, but we're going to go on the Canada side this time because we heard it was much nicer. So, but it's all, it's all like, it's Niagara Falls is Niagara Falls. US side, Canada side, whatever. But it's like, I think it's like kind of split or something. But we'll find out when we go back. But yes, or I read a little more about it, but it doesn't matter. We just had a good time. I had a good time, and as you see in some of my pictures in the video, that I was like a chessy cat all weekend. You know, it just felt good to go to another country, eat good food, good clean food. So it was nice. So I'm back home. Got back home on early Monday morning, like 4:30 in the morning. Would have got back sooner, but we just kind of took our time going back. And of course, we stopped by the Niagara Falls, which, you know, we was an hour or so there. And so we didn't get it till 4:30 in the morning, which was fine. You know, we had different drivers, you know. So yeah. So yeah, it was fun. If you guys have not been, go. Make sure you have your passport. If you don't have a passport, you can still go. But make sure you call the border first. Make sure they're still doing it like that, because you can have your license and your birth certificate. And I think it's something else. But anyway, I had my passport. Had my passport for a while now. But we're going to get into reading a few chapters. It's already 6 minutes in. And y'all know I'm trying to shorten my videos. So hold up for a second, okay? Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's get reading a couple chapters of Little Women. We're on chapter 24, A Friend. Though very happy and very busy, Jo still found time to write. The dream of filling home with comforts, giving Beth everything she wanted, going abroad herself, and always having more than enough had been, for years, Jo's most cherished dream. She took to writing sensation stories. And the money was good. She saved most of what she earned. While she wrote, Jo was discovering a live hero. Mr. Bear had advised her to study simple, true, and lovely characters wherever she found them as good training for a writer. Jo took him at his word and studied him. She began to see that character is a better possession than money, rank, intellect, or beauty, and to feel that if greatness is what a wise man had defined it to be, truth, reverence, and goodwill, then her friend Frederick Bear was not only good, but great. And when she left to go home, she invited him to visit. Early as it was, he was at the station to see Jo off, and she began her journey with the pleasant memory of a familiar face smiling farewell, a bunch of violets to keep her company, and best of all, the happy thought, well, the winter's gone, and I've written no books, earned no fortune, but I've made a friend worth having. That is chapter 24. Let's keep going. Chapter 25, Heartache. Lori studied hard that year and graduated with honors. They were all there. His grandfather, Mr. and Mrs. March, John and Meg, Jo and Beth, and all were proud of him. When he went home, Jo was there to meet him, but she was determined to keep her distance and not give him any encouragement, but he was as determined to speak. I love you ever since I've known you, Jo. I've tried to show you. Now I'm going to make you hear and give me an answer, for I can't go on so any longer. Go on, Lori. You are a great deal too good for me, and I'm grateful. I'm sorry. This is her talking. And you are a great deal too good for me, and I'm grateful. I am proud and fond of you. I don't know why I can't love you as you want me to. I've tried, but I can't, Jo told Lori. When Lori came home, tired but calm, his grandfather was waiting. The old man said, take it like a man and don't do anything rash. Why not go abroad as you plan? I will go with you. It will do me good. I've friends in London and Paris and should like to visit them. Meantime, you can go to Italy, Germany, Switzerland, wherever you will. Man, those are all countries that I want to hit. London, Paris, Italy, Switzerland, especially Italy. Okay, keep reading about it. Lori said, just as you like, sir. It doesn't matter where I go or what I do. That was Lori's heartache. But Joe suffered differently. When Joe came home that spring, Beth had changed. There was a strange, transparent look about it. Joe took Beth to the seashore, where the fresh sea breeze blew a little color into her pale cheeks. One day, Beth told her, Joe thought she was asleep and watched her, trying to see signs of hope in the faint color on Beth's cheeks. Beth looked at her to say, Joe, dear, I'm glad you know it. I've tried to tell you, but I couldn't. Is this what made you so unhappy in the autumn, Beth? Asked Joe. Yes, I gave up hoping then, but I didn't like to own it. I tried to think it was a sick fancy and would not let it trouble anyone. But when I saw you all so well and strong and full of happy plans, it was hard to feel that I could never be like you, and then I was miserable, Joe. Oh, Beth, you didn't tell me. Didn't let me comfort and help you. Beth could not explain the faith that gave her courage to give up life and cheerfully wait for death. You will tell them this when we go home? I think they will see it, sighed Joe. She was right. There was no need of any words when they got home, for father and mother saw it clearly. Laurie had left with his grandfather to go abroad after Joe's refusal. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, all the fashionable world at Nice was seen on the promenade des Anglais. Haughty English, lively French, sober Germans, handsome Spaniards, ugly Russians, meek Jews, and free and easy Americans all drove, sat, or sauntered there. Along this walk, on Christmas Day, a tall young man walked slowly. He looked like an Italian, was dressed like an Englishman, and had the independent air of an American. And many female eyes stared. Then he saw a young lady, blonde and dressed in blue. Oh, Laurie, is it really you? Cried Amy with joy. I promised to spend Christmas with you, and here I am. There was something not quite right. Amy could sense. She watched him carefully and felt strangely shy, for he was changed. He was more handsome than ever, but older and graver. Laurie looked at her as she had looked at him. Laurie looked at her as she had looked at him. Always mature for her age, she had gained a certain confidence and polish. That is chapter 25. I'm just going to read those 2 chapters, and tomorrow I think I'm going to read every day until I'm almost done, because we have a few more chapters, and these chapters are very short, so tomorrow I may read 3. But as you see, Laurie has always loved Joe. But Joe was she's older than all her sisters, but she just couldn't find that type of love in her heart for him. And so, but Amy, her sister, liked it, Laurie, but he couldn't see her because he saw Joe. But as you now know, Amy went abroad, and now Lori has went abroad also at his uncle's request. And so we'll see what happens there. But as you see, Beth is still battling with scarlet fever, the symptoms that is left behind with that deadly disease. She lived through it when she had it, but she's still living through it now after having it and made it through. And she's not well. So that's was the conversation between her and Joe. But okay, so I would like to keep reading, but it is 16 minutes. That's because I wanted to chit chat before I read to you guys. But tomorrow I will read 3 more chapters, and we're gonna keep moving on because we have a few left. This is how many pages we have left. I love you guys. As always, never give up, because God can deliver you from anything. If it's His will, just hold on to Him. Never let Him go. Just strive to live for Him. Seek after Him, because with the way this world is today, we truly need God in our life. Put Him first, and when He see you putting Him first and striving to live for Him, He'll be there for you. I love you guys. I talk to you soon, Lord's will. Peace. Mwah.